You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Liberty Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online Television within our Facebook, YouTube, and also they stream live now we websites where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. This morning, we will bring the program come to you. My name is Khadija Bangura.
And me na Mabel Kaba. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd day of July 2024. And inside this edition of the Breakfast Show today, they can look at the Freetown City Council, the 2024 to 2028 development plan with the name Transform Freetown, Transforming Lives. Waiting this plan also about the impact we get for can make, how it different from the one we done now when I made the Transform Freetown plan. All of that we will discuss inside this edition of the Breakfast Show.
Well, this and plenty other story them then at the program for you this morning. Remember, say you say for the watch, we go get the opportunity for let you add your voice to the conversation. Send we your text message on the number +23274 200 545, or you can as well text we na the comment section na any of the platform that we watch we na Facebook and YouTube. We go read on our messages them later on inside the program. Today, if I first time for watch this platform, one for say a very big welcome to you, and also not forget say Liberty Online Television now the only digital platform where we will get you credible and trusted information. Continue for watch Liberty Online Television as you watch this morning. Don't forget for share the program so that more people go join the conversation. If you not subscribe to our YouTube channel yet, go na YouTube and subscribe to the channel and put your post notification bell on so that anytime Liberty Online TV count, you go know so don't count live. And if you didn't have Facebook, you know follow page it, kindly press on the follow button and also like the page. We will continue with the breakfast show, and this morning we'll get plenty issues then for now inside the program this morning. If you don't hear it, but the Freetown City Council, the new plan for clean the city and other things, them all of that you go know inside the program this morning.
Alright, we will continue, and before we can go to the Freetown City Council, we first go to court and get the latest updates regarding the Treason trial where we don't go on for the past 5 months. And yesterday, when I be the 22nd of July, we see Usai Justice Combat Commander na High Court number 1 been sentenced 11 people when they found guilty of 20 counts, charged them for the November 26 attempted coup. For let we know more about this and waiting in the final sentence them where this judge has to be made on this case. Let we join Maria to Sheriff.
For over 6 months, the judge, combat commander, the state prosecution, the defense counsel, and the jurors them don't they go to court for the November 26 incident will be happen at the country last year. Also, the state been charged the first accused Amadou Koita Makalo, Mohamed Jallo, Sergeant 10020 Emmanuel Salifu Kamara, Ramatu Kamanda Conte, Alimatu Hassan Bangura, Hassan Lee, Mohamed Woody, ASP Ibrahim Sisse, Tambayamba, Kaba Kamanda, and Abdulsoyi Hassan Bangura for treason, murder, mistreason, harboring, and other charge them. Monday, July 22nd this year, na the date for give the final verdict on this case. And the judge bin ask the jurors them for give them final verdict and resign them duty as jurors on this case. And the lead jurors, Richard Bendu, begin in final verdict and find all the 11 accused them guilty of the various charges them where the states be make against them. Where the judge bin ask the first accused, Amadou Koita Makalo, if he gets anything for say. He bin say no, he not get anything for say. The second accused, Mohamed Jallo, and the third accused, Sergeant 1002 Emmanuel Salifu Kamara, self bin say they not get anything for say. The fourth accused, Ramatu Commander Conte, where the judge bin ask him if he gets anything for say, he bin start for cry bitter one and beg the judge for temper justice with mercy, as he say, in a single parent, we get 2 boy picking them and say, in first boy picking just to enter college this year, and second bobo still the secondary school. The judge, the same way so asked the fifth accused, Alima Hassan Bangura, if he gets anything for say, but not be able for talk nothing because he be the cry bitter one. The sixth accused, Hassan Lee, be asked for forgiveness to the states. The seventh accused, Mohammed Woody, not be get anything for say. The ninth accused, ASP Ibrahim Sise, been asked the judge for temper justice with mercy, as he say, they can't suffer for crime where he no commit. The 10th accused, Tambayama, be one put on some arguments na court, where the judge been asked him if he gets anything for say, and the judge been asked for make them take the mic from him. The 12th accused, Abdul Sori Hassan Bangura, be start for cry bitter one way then get on the mic and say he heart heavy as he gets information say in mama and papa come and die by accident on their way for Kamna court and ask the judge for temper justice with mercy. The court been go on sit down for some time and where the court resume, the judge been give in final judgment and send the first accused Amadou Koita Makalo on different count charge them. We get for do with count 1, treason, count 2, treason, count 3, murder, count 4, murder, count 5, murder, count 6, shooting with intent to murder, count 17, murder, count 18, murder, count 19, murder, contrary to section 1 of the Offences Against the Persons Act of 1861. The second accused, Mohamed Jallo, on count 1, we get for do with treason, count 2, treason, count 3, murder, count 4, murder, count 5, murder, count 17, murder, count 18, murder, count 19, murder, and count 20 for unauthorized use of military uniform contrary to section 81A of the Treason and State Offence Act of 1963. The third accused, Sergeant 1002 Emmanuel Salifu Kamara, on count 1 we get for do treason, count 2 treason, count 7 mistreason of prison. The fourth accused, Ramatu Commander Conte, on count 10 we get for do with misprision of treason. The fifth accused, Alima Hassan Bangura, on count 5 we get for do with murder, count 8 misprision of treason, count 9 harboring, contrary to section 15 of the Treason and State Offence Act of 1963 as amended. The sixth accused, Hassan Lee, count 11 misprision of treason and count 12 unauthorized wearing of military uniform contrary to section 81A of the Treason and State Offences Act of 1963. The seventh accused, Mohammed Woody, on count 1 we get for do with treason, count 2 we get for do with treason. The ninth accused, ASP Ibrahim Sise, on count 15 we get for do with misprision of treason, count 16 harboring. The 10th accused, Tambayamba, on count 1 we get for do with treason, count 2 treason, count 19 murder, contrary to section 1 of the Offences Against the Persons Act of 1861. The 11th accused, Kaba Kamara, on count 1 treason, count 2 treason, count 19 murder. The 12th accused, Abdulsori Hassan Bangura, count 1 treason, count 2 treason, and count 19 murder. When the judge be done for reading sentence here to the convict people them, some of them be start for cry bitter one as the prison officer them be they take them away. Plenty cry from family member and friends them of them convicts self been there inside the court loud one. The judge, combat commander, be end up say a past them sentence here as well for serve as lesson for other people we go want for put on or attempt for do them kind thing here na the country. For Liberty Online TV, me na Mariatu Sheriff.
All right, from that report there, we get for do with the verdict where the judge yesterday been passed on the people them 11 people there will be the stand trial for treason. Now courts where they go now up Hill Station, now SS camp. Also, we report meet Liberty Online Television say on Monday 12 o'clock middle net, one 4-story building being collapsed and kill one Belle man with 6 people were wounded and damaged serious one. Let we now join with reporter David Aki-Sawyer. We get more and a gonna report.
The plenty rain way don't they come this BNTM don't become one big challenge for plenty people in the country as they don't raise concern about how the rain don't spoil the property them. And one part of the community them where this rain don't affect bad one na the SS camp community. Monday, July 22 this year, 12 o'clock na net. The heavy rain damaged one 4-story building. Outside this building collapse, where this kill one Belle woman and some wound and damage bad one. Where in the talk for Seka the incident where happen. Abdulrahman Dukure, one of the residents there in the SS camp community, talk about how the incident happened.
Yesterday at around 12, and then I host we again something like the house. We call, I don't know how we call it, like the house, the sink. So from there we all try to rush up and come to the sink for know exactly what we have. Then we turn at the sink, we see say like house like collapse. During that house collapse at around 12, we go to 1 now, we're able to see the people in the bar and the king with other man. Then this morning back, we come, we're able to pull 3 people in back. Total 6. Then we get one guy. We're in, you know, it's so possible. How many people all in the road exactly according to the time? So it means we don't put 6 now. We don't put 6 alive. 1 get 1 at 7. Total 7. Now we try to look for with them, we confirm they don't have.
Mohamed Sam Berete been get this for say.
By 12 o'clock, sharp 12, within a room, within a room, we join sharp sound with the bomb. Go come on, you now place, and you don't follow. Come by 12 o'clock, 5 minutes after 12, we are. We put 3 people there. We want 9 at the head of the family, we have Mr. Musa, and they take care of the post-mortem care. So it will pull out some water. That's why it's small picking. That's why it's small picking and then we do that moment stay. So what we go now start for after. Then how many people then they inside the coach? And I say now 4 people there. If you keep running, then we order 3 people there. Then they are the place too. So me personally, type of all responsibility them really need for do more on the country here. Because responsibility not collecting another emergency that I call back 510 and at the same time they ask me up to say by then 1 to 2 I will get the first person to come. The first person to come at now. Then later, fire force can come. Fire force can come. They are advising everybody for nothing except excavator camp.
Then people here end up say this rain don't affect them serious one na the community as it spoil them house and property them. For Liberty Online TV, me na David Aki-Sawyer the report.
Alright, we continue with the breakfast on Liberty Online Television. Embassy, you said for the show, get the opportunity for sending me a message. Now the different platform them also on the watch with this morning. Or send out to the number +232 74 200 545. We continue with the breakfast show, and like we tell you now today, we go for a look at the Freetown City Council 2024 to 2028 development plan with the name Transform Freetown, Transforming Lives. Well, before we can look into that particular document today, let we just continue to look at issues then we get for do with the work with the Freetown City Council they do. As flood mitigation are one of the Freetown City Council then plan for clean Freetown. This Ebellion way come as we just watch reports from SS camp, also some people lost their life. This heavy rain can be affect different people in a different parts in the country. Well, for now, waiting cause this particular flood in the country, and waiting people think, but this and the flood mitigation exercise where the Freetown City Council be done to do for Seka, then kind of disaster, yeah, we can happen where in the camp. David Aki-Sawyer been talked to different people inside this interview regarding that.
Hello guys, this is Yvonne Aki-Sawyer. Today we can't have a matter of Freetown. We can't get to the video to do that's because of what we never seen from where July month starts. We only get excessive rain where this one they cause a lot of flooding as a part of Freetown. But we want to know whether if City Council are doing their work, because when it comes to flood mitigations, it is part of their responsibility. But we want to know if City Council will do their job. When I'm saying this, we can what kind of support and food we can get the users.
Well, actually, how many people are really doing to understand? City Council do very good, yeah, they do great, like, sorry, they very see or see. I don't know, like, off between them and the other voters, they're talking about the food-based community, because at the more they get effects, you understand? So, like, really, like, they're making them know how to keep it safe. But like council, according to me, how many I don't know like they give them back the way out of it. But like they question me that they really decide.
Actually, this is hospital. Because my students left early in the morning for my campus. It's like they meet the street sweepers. Ask for the citizens. Not just because we say that the city council for the city, all the expenses. But in the sea, we are citizens. So honestly, we enter with the top. Watch this, it's like that's what city council do. So I think say even we the citizens. Getting responsibility for help for clean for our city. Do the city.
Actually, it's a good job. Because normally when I get up in the morning to go for my living, I usually used to see some ladies along the street, down sweeping, make sure that everything is in place. But most of the job they are doing, actually, I can't able to talk much. That's why I'm doing my job. I'm just trying. Even me, I'm part of them because I'm doing the same job.
People just want
someone property. That's why I'm taking discussion around some money.
All right, so they continue with the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online Television. And earlier today, we tell Una say we they host the mayor for the Freetown City Council, Her Worship Yvonne Aki-Sawyer, where they join in at the studio this morning. If people can remember, some weeks back, we see Usai, the Freetown City Council, they launched the Freetown Development Agenda. Usai then say, then they create job, 150,000 this, 150. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. 120,000 decent job for women and youth them na Freetown. Well, how this get for happen? Waiting at the different plans them and how they go able for achieve all of this. You go know na the program this morning. Well, at the studio now, a pleasure for welcome once again the mayor for the Freetown City Council, Her Worship Yvonne Aki-Sawyer. Good morning, Madam Mayor.
Good morning, Khadija. Good morning, listeners, viewers. My pleasure for the year this morning.
All right. As I don't tell viewers them this morning, they can talk about the whole development plan where you title the Freetown Development Agenda, Transforming Freetown, Transforming Lives, creating 120,000 decent jobs for women and youth. women say this, somebody go say this now a big initiative, a very ambitious one for like able for create then kind of care so for women and youth them. But before we talk about this agenda, firstly, let we look back. As mayor for Freetown City Council, the municipality, we see you don't implement your first program. We bring you into office. We get for the flood mitigation and a whole lot of good initiative that we put inside that one day. And now you don't get a new one. So before we talk about the new one, let's go back and look at the Transform Freetown initiative we've been come with.
Okay, thank you very much, Khadija and Mabel. And if you notice, the title of the development plan, that Transform Freetown, Transforming Lives, you see, say we keep the Transform Freetown word day because we did build on what we've done do in Transform Freetown. So one of the things that we're very important for recognize is that when we set out Transform Freetown with the 4 clusters, 11 priority sectors, and 19 targets, the objective now be for ensure say we able for meet then targets and they over that 4-year period and put things them in place. So we look at achievements. We can go from the fact say under the first cluster resilience, building a property rate system. We digitize the property rate system. We go from a property rate system where there be a manual book with only 37,000 properties to making a now a digital one. Usai we get over 130,000 properties. Why that matter? It matter because for let you run city operations, for let you buy fuel for vehicles where they collect dirty in the street or sweep the streets, for let you able for get finance for build the wall na Kisi Road Cemetery, all in na own source revenue. Now the money where you raise as a council. And if you don't get a good system for do that, if you rely on a manual system, we not bring everybody on board, that means say few people they pay and others not the pay, then go once for see benefit. So bringing that modernized system is very important. We're really proud say Delek today, we mob tax system where we implement in 2020. Now with the support of the World Bank, it be rolled out in the other cities across the country. So and not only in Sierra Leone, but other countries like Banjul, Kanifig, then take that system there. So it's that was a big achievement. We really impact the lives of Freetonians every single day. Another big achievement where I can always really excited about, now the fact say we move from having liquid waste than waiting to come out of the toilet. We moved from having all these years that in a grown even the empty in a kingdom. Under my leadership, under we administration, we able for the first time for build a wastewater treatment plant. And that again a significant achievement from the perspective of health, from the perspective of jobs, because the one the way they collects that business day, the vacuum truck operators, they don't see them businesses expand because they can be more efficient. But for we as a city, besides the health benefit, we get another very important benefit. When you go to King Tom and you see that wastewater management treatment plant, you go see say waiting the communal bodies, we now treat them and use them for compost. We get compost making, but we also get briquette making. That is, we be able from use them for let you light fire instead of wood charcoal. 2 important points on that one day. Number 1, the technology we don't develop, we don't able for use. At the moment, we able to do 2,000 tons of briquettes a week. By September, we get a machine where we go use that material day for make 2,000 tons of briquettes an hour. So we go come in the market, and instead of you to use wood, we get a own issue where we cut the tick them, we able offer an alternative solution. Now this thing called the circular economy, then a major achievement for a city. You move now to sanitation. It's interesting because human beings, it be easy for forget. But if you get pictures of the situation with sanitation in Freetown in 2017, you will know say we really have moved a huge way. We focus on 2 elements of sanitation. One, I will talk about the facts say we only been get, can we do the data? When we came in, there were only 8,000 households we register with anybody for collecting dirty. Only 8,000 in a city of almost 1.5 million. The estimates differ between 1.2 1.5 million. By the time I done Transform Freetown, we had moved to 50,000 households. That means to say you now have an additional 42,000 households where instead of the Ibn Dotina grown, na street or na water side, then you get where they collect them and move them safely away on a regular basis. Of course, you get the one way they don't register, but they're not Ibn grown. Then you call when they see, then call them. In that transformation, we also see public space cleaning, the sweeping of streets. Before I left, we had 110 streets being swept. I'm really excited because Transform Freetown, Transforming Lives is building on those successes. So let's just say, what we need to do now, we were paying about 270 to 400, depending on the time, youth them. Now, with this Transforming Lives, we now get currently 700 young people to sweep the streets every morning. We are about to increase them to 960 through funding from the World Bank, because then see what we do and then still let them build on that success. Similarly, with the wastewater treatment plant, just take a couple of examples. With the wastewater treatment plant, the demand don't grow so much that now we get funding for expand the one at Kingdom and for build one, a new one, a bigger one in the east, because we go from zero collection and safe disposal to about 21 to 30% now, and now we want to go even further. So if I talk about the nursery, if I talk about the 160 water points around the city, if I talk about the 2 kilometers of drainage constructed in communities, if I talk about the biodigester na Hagan Street Market, the 75 street lights na Susan's Bay community, if I talk about the building of okay, Mabel.
With all of that, Madam Mayor, we don't support. If you go out there now and talk to Freetonians, and as you refer to we now the people council they work for, ask them this question of the projects we get for do with flood mitigation.
Oh yes, which we introduced.
The council fail for achieve tangible thing for that particular project, giving evidence of waiting with the scene at the city anytime where you can.
Okay.
Waiting you go say you agree on a fail.
No, definitely not. I want to remember, say before 2018, we will get massive flooding all over the place. 2018, where we start with flood mitigation, when are the activity of clearing the drains and the gutters in advance of the rainy season in a very systematic way. I want to show you, Khadija, you go look, and Mabel, you can look at videos of communities before and after. You go look drains before and after. On Sunday, I drive around with the CA, Councillor Unisa. We drive around. We drive in so many places and we see the water the flow. Let's tell you waiting happen at Dundas Street, Pademba Road Junction. Why happen at Wilkinson Road, except for Usai, the slab bus where I show on that video. Why happen now by Savage Square, the Candom. You really see the gutters have been cleaned and the water they flow freely. If you take the situation at Pademba Road now like this, if you take one bucket water, then you take one glass, you say you turn the waiting in at the bucket water inside the glass not able, elect that glass they clean, elect that glass they empty, elect nothing not in the glass because of the volume of water within that bucket. If you turn it inside that glass, the water get for scatter.
You say that the drainage
absolutely in specific places. So we get to understand. The engineers will explain to you. Say you get what they call stormwater drainage. Then like Samba gutter, it day for collect the water from the storm, from the rain. Then you get road drainage when I like waiting with the small drains them by the side of the road. Samba gutter was built, you know, I know we'll say me age, not that I'm afraid of my age, but you know, you know, growing up as a girl, Sambakota was there, and we're talking about over 50 years ago. Sambakota been day at a time where stormwater was different, and stormwater is different for two reasons. But before I explain the two reasons, let me quickly just remind Freetonians, just like I say in that analogy, take bucket water, try for turn inside glass, let you go see what happen. So wait to make we water volume don't increase between when me have been small picking and now deforestation. When you get trees, them you get grass, you get vegetation. We in a very heavy rainfall. If you do geography in our school, me I remember when we do geography, when they say we rainy season, we Salone, we got one of the highest rainfalls in the whole of the region. That rainfall day, in a geographical context, we say in a mountain day around the city. When the trees then the trees they allow the water for go inside the ground, it break the water. When the trees are not there, the water they run candle, and it can with speed, and it can with force. It can like how that bucket they come for go inside that glass. The samba got under the glass. The rain where they can now the rain from the bucket, and it not able for capture them. Nobody no go tell we say the flooding we see in Sambakota, it see all over Freetown. It come up from Sambakota, it start at Pademba Road from that main street. You see in that same water, then they go down all them Victoria Street, Charles Street, Teddy Ridge, Sanders Street. So you know there's a localized issue. Just 2 weeks ago, we get a meeting with SLRA where we discuss, among other things, this particular gutter. And then then get a project and don't write a project for let it able for do quick emergency important work for make that gutter they be that stormwater drainage be expanded. There's also another challenge. If you look Kissy Road, you go see a very similar thing na Kissy Road. The side way the water they can now from the hillside bypass, from where they make that road, when they cut that road day, now and they see that big water they come through SLRSA. So the flood mitigation has been incredibly effective, and you see that all over the city. The other area of challenge would be a place like Mellon Street, Cocker Street, where that one day I just been to talk to WFP Gisno na the phone. When they say this is an expert, an environmentalist, 9 minute talk with me, where they say it very, very clear. If you go Mellon Street now, you go there old road na Kissy, you go see on the ground red dotty. Red dotty. We don't clear that drainage and we go continue. But why would you get that red dotty? Because of the deforestation. Freetonians, the tick that we already cut, they create a lot of challenge for we. The site we the build, they create a lot of challenge for we. Yes, if you build, if you destroy the mangrove, when a flood defense, you build usai nabin water, you full up them with garbage because they're banking with dirty. The site usai you day, na they water day. When the tide come up, the water they come up. Flood mitigation can never fix that. What can fix that is land use planning and a building permit regime way environmentally sensitive, a way to ensure say this kind of construction not happen. NPAA way then they come for say in a protected area, that enforcement get to be stronger. And we serve the join for collaborate, sensitize and support.
Alright, viewers, in case you just tune in, you watch the breakfast show when they come to you live from Liberty Online Television within our Facebook, YouTube, and we also stream live now our website where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. This morning we did with her worship Yvonne Aki-Sawyer and the mayor for the Freetown City Council. Today with this morning we can talk about the Freetown development agenda, Transform Freetown, transforming lives, creating 120,000 decent jobs for women and youth. But before we can look at a new agenda, if they give a recap of the Transform Freetown, when I one of a big agenda we bring and come into office. It just give a recap how successful it was, and they can talk now about the new one when at the Freetown development agenda. But Madam Mayor, before we can talk about the Freetown development agenda, every year in season, you critique then they get a field day. They come under fire from the media. People in way go be a critique of Yvonne Aki-Sawyer. A lot of people believe, say, in that you flood mitigation aspect in Transform Freetown, you fail woefully. Where I see recently you come out for the very first time, try for state you mandate, and looking at them mandates, then the way you publish out to the media, it clearly shows, say, you get limitations in terms of tackling the flood mitigation at Freetown. What do you go say to somebody who say you fail woefully in flood mitigation, especially this particular rainy season? From when July begin, you see how the rains they come back to back and how disaster they happen at communities.
So again, I will definitely say flood mitigation. The very fact say Freetonians now they talk about flood mitigation in itself is a success, because something we not been there before and we calm and we impactful. Now make people then go talk about them, and we get from member say if you follow the news, like Nairobi get flood. This is a very, very developed city. Get flood with the city they underwater because we have climate change. We see floods in Greece. We see floods in Germany. We see floods in China. I wonder we distinguish between the localized flooding, way preventable, and then the major flooding where they come from. I mean, who's time you don't ever, Khadija, in all your life as a Freetonian, who say there ever day where we get 23 days, today make 23 days of non-stop rain. That is the effect of climate change. So we need to understand, say, climate change, they doing your own, okay, which is to an extent, I mean, there are going to be natural disasters. Let God push and far from we as a city, but there are things that are happening now globally when a result of climate change. So let's just have that at the back of our minds. Then we want to come back now to wait till we did talk about where you say, you know, failed woefully, gives my critics a field day, and you say ASEAN for the first time. Actually, no, I did talk always, but I guess people not they listen, or people not they understand and appreciate. But when it rain and you talk then it's like, oh, why you talk now? But I talk now again because I talk always. Even if you look this development agenda where we present at the launch on the 4th of July, you go see say one of the Khadija, if I can just use this, you go see say the format of the document starts with our operating environment, our Freetown. It talks about the history of Freetown. The very next thing he writes are issues. Wait till you write rapid urbanization and unemployment, lack of land use planning and building permit issuance, consequences, environmental time bomb, sanitation access challenges. This is not the first time we're saying this. I talk constantly, but I guess because I remind people for clarify at that material time, many people then take notice, but not all news. And waiting at the thing way important. Why I talk because if there's a problem, you need to know who to go to for the solution. If a person get responsibility, if an institution get responsibility, it's very important let Freetonians they all know whose institution and need for go to for resolve this issue. They can only know if they know whose institution responsible for which function. So sharing that information, not in any way say Freetown, not the support, Freetown City Council, not the collaborate.
Yeah,
we always collaborate, we always compliment, we always do.
Be it local or the general central government.
Of course.
The thing called collaboration.
Always.
So
always.
In these points, everybody they think say that the Freetown City Council supposed for take care of sanitation. The flooding they been at Freetown City Council first and we call mayor, they go travel in and out of the country, they get documented about Freetown still a flood wherein they come. You don't the council don't they get this collaboration within all the line ministries and departments they were on our states. Now waiting to go around and the media for specify on our own job. When I don't get support?
Of course, we don't get, we definitely collaborate. I just mentioned to you, say, just 2 weeks ago, I've been there with the head of SLRA. A few weeks ago, I've been there with the Minister of Lands. But the point where important for understand, and I think some of that Khadija kind of touch on, nothing not be done in an isolation. Nothing. So let's get to the heart of the matter. I think that's important. Let's distinguish between support and implementation and enforcement of issues. Let's break them down small. To have a supportive relationship, for able for call and talk is great, and that's good. Waiting we talk about is if there is a land use planning function where we not do land use planning in Freetown. If there's a building permit issuance function whereby vast majority of properties, according to the audits of the building permit, not take building permit. If the function stand with the ministry, that means to say there's another, we Freetown City Council, we're not issue building permit. We're not able to tell you, Khadija, that also a one build that water side, not Bilandi. We can't do that. Then the people then they build Osten na water side. People then they build Ostem na steep slopes, we're totally inaccessible. People then they build Ostem na mountainside where they create erosion, where rain can heavy one, it will lead to landslide. Collaborating and being supportive is not the point that is at issue. The point is how our key functions where they get downstream impact, how are they being implemented? This is not to point fingers. This is not to castigate. This is not for just explain and let we all understand. If we allow deforestation, uncontrolled deforestation, if we road them where they go into communities are self-made with no covering, now exposed to red dotty. When the rain comes, that red dotty they can at the main road. The road, the cut, as people then can talk. I go up one community, then there's a na Bien Calabatong, na Mainkine, usai we do boreholes. The road don't wash away. So the point not to for point fingers. The issue, that's not the issue. The issue now for let we understand, say, this is a complex situation. If gutter, they be cleared, right to the point where man is team up inside. Then the next day, where rain come, the red dotty, they can't fill up that gutter again. It's just logical for let we get a mature conversation and explain, say, that part outside the red dotty the candle, not to council. Now this ministry or this agency. So if I can just finish. So I guess the point is, let everybody understand and let we all join on. Let we understand, say, when you see water na Dundas Street and there's a storm water drainage system which is 50 years old. Now for let we all be supportive of the agency, we're responsible for that, as opposed to not understanding and thinking that it's because your tax money, because people then they pay Freetown City Council property rate. They want no say then tax money be used efficiently. So then for no say, indeed, we don't clear all then gutter then day. But if the volume of water na bucket they go inside glass, the glass need for be opened up for become a bucket.
Agencies then not they do their own function.
Me not to performance management contractor on behalf of the line ministries. I explain to you waiting to happen. I'm not here to judge other line ministries, but I'm here to explain everybody they play their role. We roll where we take up. Because before 2018, there was no flood mitigation as a concerted activity of council. Now we do it consistently. As I talk to you, so right now, we get teams na Mellon Street, they clear the debris that came from the mountains. But what I won't do, I no go sit down and nor give explanation to how we come to the situation where we're in.
When Freetonian then go see una where they in charge, una way old office come off from this blame shift.
There's no blame shifting. No, Khadija, I go really, no. You cannot say blame shifting. You have to be mature in looking at its issues of governance. There must be maturity. Taking an approach when you look at situations through the lens of blame, not a backward approach. If you want to make improvements, there needs to be clarity about what the problem is, how the problem arose, who has the mandate and will get a budget to deal with it. Freetown City Council is not going to get a budget for open Samba gutter. If we even when, look, let me give you an example. In the previous administration, so a while ago, but it's a good example, we've been getting a situation where by Connaught Hospital, manhole been the overflow, then an underground sewage, then we, okay? But for the place beside that manhole been there, we will need for get access through the road, for cut the road, for able to do the work. This is not under the current DG, this is long before him. We write to SLRA, we write to Ministry of Works at the time. We not get response. These team the ooze, not the ground. We decide for, take we own engineers, go open the road. The minute we started, those agencies came and told us it wasn't our mandate. So you need to, what you really do, it's not blame. And it not helpful for think about time in those terms. Waiting important, now for think about time from the perspective of there's a problem, how the problem come, would I get a mandate for solve them? Let's all work together for solve them. Understanding would I get a mandate, now part of that.
I say blame because at this point, everybody they try for pulling aid.
No, you cannot. We are the state. No, not to pull you aid. Not to pull you aid.
Disaster management agency that everybody they talk about a limitation. So with all of this that is happening, it clearly shows a yes, climate change is real. Other countries and they experience the same.
Yes.
But we can salon free so nobody know date for take responsibility.
No. So again,
let we talk about the Freetown development agenda. Madam Mayor, let we talk about the Freetown.
I'm not going to able move on with that. We land on this thing in I think in what I would consider more sensible closure, and that's the go before say we're not saying it's important. Responsibilities come with accountability. People need to understand.
So the public need for know from you. Before you they play your role as council, the other one back where responsible they play their role.
So what I say is, when it comes to roles, you say. Good. Even that expression, roles and responsibilities. It's important that you have the two words. Okay? Why is it important? I know I've been talking and working with the SLRA DG, very hardworking. And I talk with the Ministry of Lands. He don't tell me say, he don't become convinced. But I know go talk on his behalf. There is a review of the Town and Country Planning Act where they on. We wait for see the outcome. One of the recommendations now for them devolve again because it was devolved before, but this recommendation again devolve that land use planning and building permit to FCC and all the other councils in the country, not just City Council. So that is on the table for consideration, and I'm hopeful that we will get the outcome we me feel saying the right outcome, which is international best practice for let these functions, because as you say, Khadija, it becomes, well, who's responsible? If it devolves to council, when people then the bill now what's aside, go no.
No, you don't come to the point where they try for raise say. At this point, everybody they try for pulling.
No, because there's so many players. No, that's the challenge.
Yeah, because the players
it's fractured.
Everybody they taking time. Let go inside this in your mandate. So that is why Freetown is experiencing.
So it's very fractured at the moment. If you go to any Atlantic Nairobi as an example, where they under flood recently, like literally the river bursting banks because of the heavy rainfall. Whole communities were flooded. The city was flooded. But the governor of Nairobi, which is like the mayor, the governor of Nairobi, he no say na in the building permits. He no say na in the do land use planning. He no say na in the do settlement upgrade. He no say na in the do roads. he knows say those are his mandates. So you don't get nowhere they can begin talk say no. But in our case, everybody, there's so many different players. So it's important to say
so many different players will lack collaboration.
No, they're not lacking collaboration.
So if all be they collaborate, how
again, I'll make the distinction. To collaborate and to implement is different. I don't get no bad relationship with anybody. But the question is everyone able to implement land use planning? Is it happening? Is building permits, if you look, the audits, I'll use the audit. The audit said for every 100 properties, 85 don't have building permits. Because they don't. Because either they haven't, it's not being enforced, but even when it's enforced, if you're not the one responsible for delivering garbage, you go allow Ostem to be built now Mount Oriel, thousands of houses with no road, because you not get for member, like mayor get for member, how for go pool dirty day. So that splitting of responsibilities is a challenge, and I think we should think about it from a structure perspective, a procedural design perspective, as opposed to personalizing it. And I think that's when you talk about blame, you begin to personalize. Me to talk about a governance structure where I believe say no best placed for enhanced effective decentralization and devolution of functions, and that should be changed. I'm an advocate for changing that.
If you talk to anybody when an expert now in environmental issues, it will tell you say Freetown day on a time bomb. With environmental time bomb. And you they sit now as a co-chair for C40 cities. Yeah. How personally they feel for no kind of thing about you city say we sit down on top of time bomb. Freetown, a lot of people don't describe and say a lack planning, if you like a slum, and within our time bomb, we see how communities then they flood now, people then they die, properties then they lost, and all of this. They used it as a co-chair for C40.
Yes, because as soon as a co-chair for C40s, why was I elected? Because of the passion I get, because of the strides that we don't take, even without having these mandates. Even without these mandates, yet still, we're planting 1 million trees for stabilize the slopes, planting mangroves. As I talk to you, we get 200,000 more mangroves. What would you put as coastal defense? Right now, as I talk to you, informal settlement upgrades. I mentioned what we don't do in Susan's Bay, but if you go to Crew Bay, and they're engaging communities. We're bringing in drainage. We don't bring in drainage in other communities, so we don't have the mandate. But that's why I always say we complement. We support, we collaborate, but you can't do, it's different when you're coming alongside to when you're in charge. The structural makeup, we get legislation, we say functions are devolved to councils. That legislation has not been implemented. We continue, my role is to continue to advocate for effective decentralization, particularly in respect of land use planning. And someone go tell me, say, Freetown, it don't finish already. You know, we're not there for planning city. I can tell you, say, every single day in Freetown, more buildings they go up. If the one that we don't go up not being planned, we not being get hands there, at least let me prevent the continuous building in canals, in waterways, in steep.
So many aspects from which you don't explain. Then a paper, but the implementation for let you see an effectively.
It's not devolved.
You they get what you want from central government in terms of they want they already responsible. Let on work as one and move Freetown forward.
So I think we still get a little bit of a hiccup in terms of this collaboration. Waiting we need.
Council, on a lane, they do what they are supposed to do. Other people are not doing what they are supposed to do.
Building permit issuance is not effective. Building permit, people then they build all over without permits. People then they build now what's aside.
The other body.
Why are we trying to get to that conclusion? You make your conclusions you want to make. I am talking about the facts. I'm not concluding. I am not opining on any other institution's work. I am telling you the facts on the ground, and as far as I'm concerned, the way to deal with the facts is not to personalize and cast blame. No, it is to say what is best practice internationally. Best practice is the key functions where necessary for effective service delivery at the municipality level for being moved to the municipality, because now you get close to the ground. Now you go able for deal. Now you get for go collect dirty. Now you get for ensure say dirty collected. Now you get for ensure say, as you say, where flooding happen, people then are you then they run to. Right now then they call me go Kissybrook, Usai Bridge don't go. But the issue there, where go lead to that is a culvert or a bridge which we didn't build. But that's the role of a city government, for take that overview. Where there are limitations, we advocate.
Other body they not do waiting as supposed to.
We the advocates for devolution of land use planning and building permit. And even if it's not devolution, let me tell you another way you can do this, which is also perfectly acceptable to us. How about when building for go up? How about there be an engagement with council for know if from an environmental perspective that this is not a good place. How about there's also information on parking, because you get buildings the way they go up now, 7-story, no sign all day when they park them with car, they lead to congestion. What are then they call city council, the road then congested. So there needs to be.
If we say we dey talk about flood mitigation, we don't come here today because the evidence, there's so much out there. But this is like bulky document.
But today, I can tell you, say from April to now, you hardly find one day of the week where we don't get up to 30, 40, 50 people clearing the drains and the gutters. So the flood mitigation is happening. As somebody said to me, Mayor, if an don't do that, if that rain will come, it'll be for worse.
But you say you're not happy with it you're seeing at the city right now?
I'm not happy with the facts, say, and I can't put blame on anyone. I'm not happy with the facts, say, stormwater drainage, after so many years, still is where it was 6 years ago. The thing that bleeds my heart the most, not the level of deforestation. The facts say even when we plant, the cutting down of trees. But I go say that bleeds my heart. Another thing that bleeds my heart, the building in the waterways, and the lack of control. That if you build Usai water the pass, trust me, water go pass.
So they paper for building.
Indeed.
Usai in the police paper, the big question. All right. In case you just tune in, you watch Yvonne Aki-Sawyer, where na the mayor for the Freetown City Council. A day with me at the program this morning, we talk about Transform Freetown. And just a recap, I don't give you about Transform Freetown, but so they look at the flood mitigation aspect of how we seem for be a challenge program. So if you try to explain what are some of the reasons then. But now they come to the Freetown development agenda, Transform Freetown, transforming lives, creating 120,000 decent jobs for women and youth. This they run from 2024 to 2028.
Yeah.
This is not a new plan, a new agenda. A lot of things then they inside this document, how worship Yvonne Aki-Sawyer, but creating 120,000 decent jobs, isn't that too ambitious?
Very good question. And I think the answer is it is ambitious, but not too ambitious.
Okay.
Why? Creating jobs not mean to say in a council they can employ 120,000 people. Now about creating the platforms and the opportunities for do so. I will re-emphasize, say, Transform Freetown, transforming lives. Get that word Transform Freetown for a reason. Because we know left, it's a new plan in as much as it's a continuation and a pivot. So it's a continuation of the work we're doing in climate action. The pivot is that whereas we were seeking to meet 19 specific targets, and if you now go to we website, fcc.gov.sl, look at the previous reports, the 4th year report, you go see Usai we reach against those targets. Because we very transparent, we very accountable. As Freetonians go member, every year we produce a report on what we don't do, with pictures, with specific locations, with evidence. So no to talk, because one of the things we some of the social media commentators like will say, now Boku talk big English. No.
So you can see all them.
Oh, I don't see all, but I see some. And the one who don't see me, Mama can call me, Yvonne, you don't see this. Oh, mommy, advertising, mommy, please don't read all that stuff. But just on that, so we really clearly evidence, and even in this document, we actually devote 2 pages to just showing some of the achievements, so that, you know, if you want to be genuine and you really, you know, you're not just trying to create hot, you know, sort of attention, then you can refer to that. Coming back to your point about the ambition and how it's going to be done. So, Transform Freetown, Transforming Lives. Recognize, say, in as much as we get all of the structural challenges, we've talked about climate change. This is a global phenomena. Not only do we have these extreme rainfall patterns, but we also get extreme heat. Just a few weeks ago, before this rain began, now heat's 9 minutes more we all. You know, people were like really suffering. You just be poor. So climate change is real. You know, it's what caused me to run for office. You know, I mean, I wasn't in politics before, you guys know that. I ran for office because of my concerns of waiting climate change when you do, and the environmental destruction we will experience at Freetown. So that's my passion. But even as we deal with climate change, as we deal, that's a big word. You know, we can't deal with climate change. We can do our best to adapt to climate change, to mitigate the impact on the people, but it's happening. It's happening everywhere. Now, that day, but the other thing we did, now the fact that we have a very young population. 70% of Freetonians are under the age of 35. That's very young. But sadly, 70% of them same youth them no get job. They're unemployed or they're underemployed. That means to say that they do some half-dragging, but not to something we could really call employment. So if you combine then 2 issues then day, and you realize that even for you ability as a council for generate revenue, we generate revenue from waiting property rates, business license. That means you have to have businesses for you to have business license. People have to be able to pay your property rates. They need to be able to have an income themselves to be able to pay their property rates. So that lead we in thinking through what do we want to prioritize in the next 4 years. So it lead me to thinking through, say, let me focus on a target we go really impact positively on the lives of we young people and we women, because 51% of the population of this city are women. So creating jobs means creating the environment. We measure the jobs. It's not hypothetical, right? We do them in 4 ways. 1, through climate action. 2, through heritage tourism. We have hidden gems. And you know, just I talked to she said it publicly, so I can quote her. But I talked to outgoing High Commissioner Lisa Chesney just 2 days ago, and he say of all the countries where they ever live, that Freetown, Salon, he loved the most. He say it's just when he can send pictures, people say, "Where is that?" And she's like, Sierra Leone, you know, but so many people don't know. And when it comes to a heritage, I'll come into this in more detail, but just to give you the 4 areas. So heritage tourism. The 3rd, digital technology. I mentioned the property rate system, digitizing that. You go see, say, with the new waste management system with the come on in place, there's a digital element to that, component to that. But from the perspective of the youth, if we're going forward in the 21st century, our youth need to be in the tech sector because that's where the growth is. And then the 4th area is human capital development. So what is that? If you want for creating an opportunity for there to be jobs, facilitate jobs, the one day we get for take the jobs, then self need for be built up. So under that, we get skills, we get water, because you don't get for survive without water. You get health, and you get food, so urban farming. So just to give an example of the job creation, like give the example from water. You go, maybe you say right now within this process of installing 65 boreholes. We just don't almost complete 25, but then 25, they then come with training for women and creation of jobs. So me go then graduation, we identify women them in each of them 25 boreholes them, where we train them in business development, train them in operating the operations training not yet, but that's the next step. But by the time we're done, that's 250 women. We go get job. We go be self-employed. We the water way then they sell the kiosk. I don't know if you see that picture. They have been posted not so long ago. You go see say get kiosk. It gets all the equipment. The water way they come from the borehole. It be filtered. So now drinking water. Then gets then sales desk. So you where they come by. You did there on the other side. You did pay to them. That business alone don't lift that woman day in life. That's a job.
So now Freetown City Council they create 120,000 decent job for women and youth them. Government safe one pan and big 5 game chamber
now changes
now for create 500,000
yes.
jobs. Is it safe for say work the Kamboku na Freetown na Salo?
Well, waiting
because if you take out 120,000
if you look this page here, you go say anything where we do governments don't already tell we say, because the deputy minister of local government was at the launch. He gave a keynote and he don't say the 120,000 where we did create na Freetown, then the contam as part of the 500,000 way government decreed.
So you don't take a chunk of
we don't make a commitment for create 120,000 jobs for Freetonians. And I can tell you one of the things we did do, because we're not to play with this there. We don't play with them at all. We not just sit down and come up with a number. That 120 was calculated. It was calculated by looking at the various clusters, what the potential is. The climate action gets a lot of potential. So for example, even now, we don't plant 1 million trees. We 977,000. We get 300,000 trees where they be planted now. We do people that they plant them trees and they now 1,187 jobs. That process they create for that additional 300,000, and as we go forward in this plan, we move from 1 million trees to 4 million trees. So you see for become a tree specialist, for plant and monitor growth of trees is a job. It inside there. Decent job is a job where you be paid. So for example, the one way they do the street sweeping, then you be paid $3 a day. The equivalent of $3 a day. So according to the World Bank and the UN, you know, $1 a day is like the minimum. I think it's gone up to like maybe it's $1.50, but where they're being paid $3 a day equivalent, because the World Bank come alongside they see what we need to do, and then support we for expand them, and then come with additional money. For example, the VTOs, the vacuum truck operators, then just the fact say we create these plants. The one that we get you get more people with jobs. The one that we get for sell the briquettes, where they replace the charcoal. The one that way they grow the trees them in nurseries. The one that way in the context of the water. I just give an example of decent job for women. We now the big water kiosk operators, they run them as a business. Mabel, some man look down on waste management as a job. But I can tell you, say we get with youth groups them, we get youth them way being college dropout, way through this dirty walk. Now so they can say, Mayor, the streets now we office through dirty walk. Some man don't finish college, don't get degree. Some man don't go from one tricycle to buying 2 diner. We now then serve the employ people. That is what you call workforce. That's what, yes. It doesn't mean not to all man go sit in an office, Mabel. We also are doing tech jobs. You know, we're also working with the tech industry for let people then get tech skills, you know, coding skills, skills in the digital economy. But it's not everybody. So, woman, na hairdressing one do. You want to tell me say because no to office you sit down, no to a decent job? It is you have to provide jobs for everybody. Waiting Freetonians they want, waiting they need food on my table, the ability for pay me picking school fee, the ability for care for me sick family member, no to all man land book, and we need for make sure say we provide skills training and opportunities for all.
All right, continue for the with we. I worship Yvonne Aki-Sawyer. Quickly, let's just watch a video clip on how Freetown City Council be do the engagement. Would they be talked to where they end up for put together this Transform Freetown development agenda. Let's just watch the clip. We'll come back. We will read some of our messages then, and how worship Yvonne Aki-Sawyer will respond to some of our messages then. In the beginning, a technical committee was set up by Freetown City Council to design the process that Transform Freetown, transforming lives. The goal was simple: engage, engage, engage. Internally, we began with councillors and staff of the Freetown City Council. Next, we went into 48 communities, targeting 100 residents per community, including youth leaders, women, persons with disability, religious and political leaders. In all, 4,800 residents were directly engaged. These engagements helped us with baselining and to better understand the challenges and development priorities at the community level. Then, we had planning labs, which were technical working sessions with key stakeholders, including national government, private sector, development partners, academic institutions, and NGOs.
So for climate action, to address the climate action, so it's invest in afforestation, green energy, blue economy, heat mitigation, and clean air. We're also looking at expanded investments in solid and liquid waste management value chains, and also being able to undertake informal settlement upgrades, city regeneration, and green urban mobility.
To garner additional input, bilateral meetings were convened with ministries, departments and agencies and Parliament. Finally, the development agenda was taken to a General Council meeting for approval, making it a working document for implementation by the Mayor of Freetown, councillors and staff of Freetown City Council.
After a lot of consideration and an appreciation that we must build on the successes of Transform Freetown, we must take those projects which were not complete forward, but at the same time, we must also be responsive to one of the major factors that we are experiencing as a city. We've decided that this time, in this administration, there has to be an overarching focus on job creation and economic stimulation.
As Freetown City Council, we are excited to present this development agenda to the residents of Freetown, which is driven by an inclusive community-centered approach based on credible data and innovation. We are committed to our bold ambition of creating 120,000 decent jobs for women and youth in our city by 2028.
I'm moving ahead. I never stop.
Back where that's be a short clip where we share with Una from the Freetown City Council as they get different consultation them ahead of the development agenda before they launch and the different consultation them where they be hold. But we still get Madam Mayor at the studio with me, and we talk about the development agenda when at Transform Freetown, transforming lives for create job for 120,000 women and young people and win a decent job. As far as people are concerned, whatever they inside this document, that particular aspect of might be the most interesting, because the number of unemployment we all know say it is very high, and among young people, some day when I graduate, some day when I learn nothing. And one tangible question we then go ask, since this document we don't come out, now when then go see this particular job creation kickstarts?
So we launched on the 4th of July, and the 4-year plan now they run from July 2024 to June 2028. So you see now, I just don't give example of jobs we ongoing now. I just tell you about the water jobs. We go expand because now 65 boreholes we do. I tell you, see, as I talk to you now, we go through a targeting process for the tree planting jobs. Them we look for a 3 to 4 year period of time, you know, because that monitoring of the trees them now until then grow to a certain level, and that now it's decent work. If you talk to people that we don't learn skills, we tell you about plant preservation, tell you about the species, them tell you about growth. There's, I mean, we get now 1,187 people where we are about for take in this. You come now to something like the CBD regeneration. We get funding from the Swiss mayor of Zurich, the Swiss City Council, the Zurich City Council. We're in a city in Switzerland, and that is 2.5 million euros, no, Swiss francs, over 5 years for do regeneration of the CBD. So you see, we do things them, that's go regenerate the CBD. We're in a part of, you know, greening, beautifying, because we get for how it's light, get for how it's improved pavements. We don't, again, talk about collaboration. We don't sit there with SLRA for discuss. We don't with teams that don't go out together for look at the pavements them, you know, how that funding they go able for improve that, because it's about walkability, it's about green spaces. We get 2,500 trees, 4-meter high trees, where we're about for puts throughout the, well, not throughout the city, in 4 main throughways. We put them from Hill Station Tennis Court down to Lumley, Congo Cross Bridge to Moretown, along Kanabengakoa Street, front of FSSG, and then Shaka Stevens Street, from Walpole Street to Wilberforce Street. These activities are being done by Freetonians. When you build, bring in greening, you get for build teams. You get for get UDAT and get for be part of bigger teams for maintain and for invest. When we do the informal settlement upgrade, you see, say, we get plans. We don't start with Susan's Bay, with putting in those lights, doing the drainage, but we go beyond. We build road na Moiba, we do greening na, and again, is collaboration, complementing, supporting. Now make us say, I always say.
Where somebody go to visualize right now, you go to also remember challenges and go for the camp.
Yes, and I always say, now make us say, it's not that we don't collaborate. It's that, but there are things we affect flooding, where people need to understand. That don't mean to say, you know, we get bad relationship, we not talk. No, something like SLRA. When I became mayor in 2018, for the first time, as far as everybody else could remember, a decision was taken by the then SLRA board, say there are no feeder roads in Freetown, and therefore Freetown City Council will not forget any budget for road maintenance. So from my being mayor 2018 to now, we've never had road maintenance budget. Does that mean I can't call SLRA, you know, when there's an issue? No, it doesn't. I'm just saying there are facts, there are things, but it doesn't mean that there isn't a working relationship. There is, because you can't work as an island. Okay. If you work as an island, you're not working for the people. Right. I'm working for the people of Freetown. So the jobs are going to be created. Tourism, for example. We don't engage the Ministry of Tourism, we don't engage the Monuments and Relics Commission, and we don't give a commitment, say, we're going to focus on Freetown. At a national level, the ministry, of course, is focusing across the city, and also they'll be doing work in Freetown. But Freetown, are we your own responsibility, and we don't put this as a priority. Job creation in tourism really very significant, because if you get an international festival, so for example, we focus, because many will begin to say, hey, the airport. Yes, it's true. But our focus, if you look at the document, we focus for targeting, we first market for we own tourism. Now, the sub-region, the MRU countries. Look, Conakry, Nebaya. Conakry in population has 16 million people. Then there's I go a meeting where I meet a Guinean woman. We know himself, he tell me, say, oh, when I was feeling low over Christmas, people said to me, go to Freetown, go and relax. He's saying, go now in spend New Year's Eve and New Year's Day na Sierra Palms. Imagine if you able build that kind of market, because now 3 hours by boat, 4 hours. If you get 16 million people market, if we able begin target say 3,000-4,000 Guineans for can spend the money in Freetown. Then they said they grow the economy. And when you get job in tourism, the person way you employ in a hotel, you also get for employ the people where they cook, the people where they grow the food, the transport sector, all money be positive markets. So it really gets what they call forward and backward linkages. So finally on this job creation, we actually don't work with one of we philanthropic donors. We ask them, say, we don't want to just guess. This needs to be documented. It needs to be calculated. So then the EPRI for get a consultant, we go help you with a model for how we calculate the jobs, so that every year we go to report back to Freetonians scientifically and with evidence on the number of jobs created as we move along. Transform Freetown, transforming lives.
All right, Madam Mayor, let we take some of the messages them where people don't send this morning. The first one they read, they come out from whose friend Kamara on Facebook. They say, thanks, Mayor, for your relentless efforts to mitigate environmental issues within the metropolis. Madam Mayor, what is the present situation of the assessment of groundwater quality in dump sites? Also, have you managed to lay hands on the magazine title Understanding Urban Risk Trap in Freetown? Kind regards.
All right, we look at more messages still on the Facebook page. For the Mustafa Toure, they say politicians can promise anything in the world, but this can only be done when revenue or funds are available. The central government is focused on salaries, and so is the FCC. Let the mayor tell us where she is going to get the money from to create 120,000 jobs. The central government has failed to tell us how, so I hope she can set a good example.
Ibrahim Lansana, they say, Madam Mayor, what is the work of the environmental division in the Freetown City Council? And what are you doing with the revenue generated by Freetown City Council?
David Bland on the Facebook page, they say climate change actions demand the efforts of every Sierra Leonean to help mitigate the environmental time bomb in Freetown. Kudos, her worship, the mayor, for proactive interventions. Central government needs to make it a priority as well.
Usman Kouma, they say, Mayor, the flood mitigation in Freetown is still challenging. As we all see, the city is still in flooding. Continue working with the collaborative agency to improve our city, Freetown.
We look at more messages now. The YouTube channel, Waltona Cummings. They say the city of Freetown was built to accommodate half the current population, with minimal improvement to accommodate the numbers since 2000. Thanks to the mayor and her team in enforcing change.
This one where they come out from Abu Mansari, they say, good morning, Liberty TV. Please ask Madam Mayor how many of her family members she will employ in these jobs.
All right, more messages. Now the Liberty Online TV YouTube channel, Lamin Bangra, they say, we the people of Sierra Leone should give thanks to the Almighty for having this kind of mayor. She is really trying. The blame is not on her, because we should blame the poor planning of the government.
Albert Fuji, they say, good shout, Madam Mayor. The problem is these migrants to this once beautiful city do not know how to live in a city. No rules implemented, lawless at all circle. More messages. This will come out from Desmond Williams. They say, Madam Mayor, Sambagota needs to be dug up to about 30 feet from source to destination with manholes for debris clearing. Also, all intersections of drainages should have meshing so that the debris cannot block these intersections. All right, plenty messages. We will just try for it. Few more, then we will come to her worship, Madam Yvonne Aki-Sawyer. Roland Beresford, Ignosis George Stone, they say the heavy rains and flooding is a reminder that due to human activities in deforestation has caused the disaster facing the capital, and more trees are planted and better drainages and culverts built, the safer the lives of Freetonian and their properties.
Right. The final one we may go look at because of time. David Glass said the Freetown mayor is exemplary in the sub-region. She continues making a lot of positive impact in Freetown and meets national Natural challenges are climate change champion.
All right, from the messages then there, we come na studio quickly for let her worship Yvonne Aki-Sawyer respond to some of the messages there. Madam
Thank you. I hope so I get it all. Somebody asked about the quality of the groundwater. We're in a very, very important point. And again, this is, you know, where the point at which you explained, say, not one agency does everything. So we have an natural resource water management agency, and that, you know, sort of oversight of groundwater is with them. So again, part of the reason for the explain to people who's responsible, so that you know who to ask your questions to, who for direct your questions to, so that we're able to get the right answers. The person will say, you know, how you're going to create the jobs. Again, let me explain. We don't create the jobs. We don't come and say we're now advertising jobs for 120,000 people. No, you support interventions. You facilitate interventions where you create jobs. So whether it's the fact that, let me just take a different example. Cable car. The cable car, you'll need people at the stations. There'll be increased productivity because people then will be more connected. Businesses then go able grow. Access to finance, you know, is something that we're doing with a number of institutions where we link them and SMEs. We just signed an MOU with an organization called Building Markets, where they own role now for look at the supply chain for small companies, help them for access markets. So you help organizations, you do interventions, you whether you're planting trees or you're building drainage, people, that's work. You know, so your interventions are creating, investing in the arts, you know, supporting the return of lantern. Lantern are job. People, they didn't make the lantern. People, they will get for sell now festivals. You know, so it's creating an environment that enables the jobs. You don't want the public sector to be your biggest employer. You want the private sector to be your biggest employer, for let you get growth as a country. No country not to grow by simply building the public sector and let the public sector the advertise and take people in for work. You need economic growth, wealth creation, and that they come from the private sector. So what we do is really focus on how we make sustainable interventions. So even with the waste management, we new waste management system is moving. It's always been private sector, but it's giving more strength, support, and structure to that, and that will create thousands of jobs. Somebody's saying, wait till the environmental division, they do a lot. You know, we environmental division, they do disaster risk management right now. The flood mitigation team, that is now the environmental division. The environmental division are also working with Freetown, the Treason, you know, in the planting of trees. So, you know, they do a lot. Somebody also say, what do you do with the money that's raised? We pay for the running of the city. You know, if today we build Wilberforce Market, and in fact I'm going there day after tomorrow, it's almost finished. Now, city money we use for build them. If you go now, on that same Thursday, we go do the handing over to the contractor for the wall now Kisi Road Barangron, as well as the wall now Central Town Barangron. That's what we're doing with your taxes. We run the city, but something is very expensive. So Freetonians and not truly understand is the cost of fuel. And the amount of fuel that's needed for do pickups of garbage from markets, from public spaces. I believe, say we spend, I mean, I can double check with the CA, but I think we spend something like 50 million old leons a week on fuel for the sanitation vehicles. But I'm going to say, I'm caveating that because I'm not entirely sure, but I can always call after the call and give you guys the information so you can check, but it's a substantial, significant amount. So on flood mitigation, just to say again, it don't be hugely successful.
Okay. Hugely successful.
Clearly there are areas where there are challenges, but that's not because of the, like I say, it's a combination of things. So let me give you another example. So for example, yesterday when I'm in the Comot, yesterday I visited Levuma community, Levuma Porto community, they were seriously flooded. But when you did it, they live on the beach. I mean, na sansan, na the ground. You know, you literally live in the sea. Then we moved to Culvert community. Culvert community, as we know, live next to the culvert, just under Bome. But as I came back, I used the new road, the hillside bypass. And I use that community as an example very often, Mount Oriole, because that whole community where they up there, no road access. And so then dirty, no matter how often you clean them, they're literally the even dirty onto the road. Because no vehicle not able to go there. We are working on something for Begin Take Vehicle Day announced. We've got a draft now plan, and we go see how we go implement. Very quickly, somebody say Freetown was made for a population half this size. Freetown was made for a population a third of this size. So Freetown is really bursting at its seams. Migrants, rural urban migrants, my own view, if you live in Freetown, you're a Freetonian. So the notion, the concept of urbanization is a global phenomenon. It happens outside. So what we need to do is better receive those who come, and a way for better receive them. Like for make sure, say, we get land use planning. We get areas, this is residential, this is commercial, this is industrial. We need zoning of the city as it used to be. Where you be no say Wellington industrial zone, where we no say Spur Road na residential, Hill Station na residential. We need that, but that only comes when you have the mandate to do land use planning and to make that sort of zoning. Somebody said, who's going to employ for about, I'm not employing anybody, my family are employed, thank you very much.
All right.
And Samba got this point, this very good advice, which is a very technical engineering advice, is something that you, I think that person as an engineer should share with SLRA, you know, so that I'm sure they're also very open to getting technical input and advice from engineers. And then lastly, on the deforestation, you know, I remember I've seen not once, not twice, people especially last administration, they mock me. All day you plant tree, all day you talk about tick, all day you plant. Well, I hope they now understand why haven't they talked about trees? Because trees are critical for the resilience of our city.
Thank you very much. Our worship Yvonne Aki-Sawyer, we joined with the program this morning. You can tell we about the Freetown development agenda, Transform Freetown, transforming lives. Also a plan for create 120,000 decent job for women and young people. Well, Liberty Online Television, we're going to follow how the mayor they implement this for the next from 2024 to 2028. We are back hold them accountable to award them if it be able for reach half of the 120,000 jobs. And you had watch with this morning one for say many thanks. We get over 740 plays. We mean saying over 740 people that watch the program. Continue for support Liberty Online Television. Continue for share all we content them as na you way than they for support we. Mina Khadija Bangura, they say have a blessed day.
Alright, and continue for monitor the Liberty Online Television as we continue for being on update throughout the day as things in the unfold and the city, especially Osai Liberty Online TV head office day. Until we meet again, maybe everybody say get a good day and goodbye.